So today we are looking at strikers in every price category, and we're going to start off with the lowest of the low. If you are struggling to find any sort of striker that really just matches your game type, we're going to go over them. I've got 4 different categories. We've got practically free, because some of them are pretty much that, just game time, low strikers, medium strikers, and the top of the top, which I feel like you could probably guess at least 3 of them. Now, in terms of the low, we obviously have got the likes of Leao from the last season, we have Smith from this one, or Wilson now, and we have Ginola. Now, obviously all 3 of them are exceptionally good in their positions. You can get them from Season 8 that has now expired, but was one of the first quadruple playstyle pluses, and more than likely will end up as one of the better strikers that you can see in this game for the price of absolutely nothing. All you had to do was play the game. Leao is just incredible across every sort of category. He's a tall striker, he's got great pace, he's got great shooting, passing's there as well, as he was or is a left wing as well, but then also has the physicality and dribbling gains that you absolutely want. When you do look at someone like Smith, if you've ever used or utilized in last year specifically, she was exceptional. We've got beta version 3 now as well. I don't like that the card doesn't come down there. I get the chemistry links, which is actually going to be really nice for next year. For now, it's not going to be as great. I kind of want the card to come here, just in case Futbin is watching. But naturally, when you look at this card, incredible. Throughout many different versions, from Team of the Year that came out months ago, Team of the Season was good enough. I thought, again, you've got the Rapid, the Finesse, and the Low Driven. And I think that is already kind of a standpoint to go on. Most strikers, what I personally want to go with 3 playstyle pluses, 4 and 5. At the minimum, I want Finesse. That is the kind of broken playstyle plus that will always be broken across every FIFA. It's been the best shooting type for probably the last 10 years. If you've played since FIFA 09, there was always something. If it was pace down the wing, scoring in, I want to say FIFA 10 or 11, from pretty much the halfway line, you could lob ball the keeper. Then obviously the Finesse was just everywhere. El Tornados, you could still go into the Finesse as well. It's always been one that you definitely want. Then I would normally go with a quick step or rapid. Normally the quick step tends to be better for that burst. If you kind of bring the defender in, shift your weight onto another side and sprint past, always works. And low driven is a new one that is great for certain scenarios. Now, it's not totally broken that you can shoot from anywhere with it, but it definitely has its advantages. Once you've gone past them 3 playstyle pluses, I don't think there's really a bad one after that, because you've got what you need. Then first touch is always a good one, because naturally anything to keep the ball with you. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics, and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Press proven, bruiser, aerial seems to be a good one when we do get the heading. Like next year, that should be pretty good, or precisive heading will be the next one. That's always going to be fantastic. And then a 5th, it really doesn't matter. Quite literally, you could go with any playstyle plus and it doesn't add any benefit really. Like you could go acrobatic if you really want, or you go for something passing orientated to link up them strikers. But naturally, Smith or Wilson has always been phenomenal in them aspects. And then Ginola is Ginola. This year he's definitely not had the level of card that we've seen previously, but most definitely he is one of the cards that is always going to be on top when it comes to the 5th playstyle plus, and a 99 rated to say the least. Now, I want to say he's the normal. It's either him or Virgil are the normal season, and then they are going to be the premium. So I want to say Ginola is the premium. We can view objective. Yeah, Ginola is the premium. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a big kind of flaw because naturally, if you have been doing the grind, you can make coins pretty easily. 500k or even 1,000 points shouldn't be that difficult to get yourself in 99. I think 500k is the better way to go, to say the least, but still an absolutely unbelievable striker, to say the least. Then we have we have two of the cheaper strikers that I think are perfect for your entry-level striker. If you were just picking up the game right now, you've managed to get it off Game Pass, it's come out free in anywhere, or you've just not bothered to play it, to be honest, until the end, where we do get these crazy cards. It's fair enough. You might be a career guy and you're just going into Ultimate Team now. I don't see that being much of a problem. And Torres is exceptional. I always love a bit of Torres in the game. He's always quick, he's always got a great amount of dribbling, and his shooting is normally impeccable. Now, he's got the finesse and the rapid, he's got the Trivela, which most definitely does work in certain aspects, first touch as well. For 70,000 coins, I think he's an absolute steal. And I do think the same for Thuram as well. He's another card that I would suggest as a very low-rated striker or low-price striker that can get the job done. Quick step, press proven, obviously then got himself a beautiful finesse and also power shot. Power shot not as much. I do think that has definitely gone down a little bit more, but it's an easy corner winner. If you're good at doing the corners, if you can get a certain rhythm together with how you actually get the goals from them, because you can't header normally, then it's a perfect avenue to go down. Now, I do think from the very start, we obviously got the two Thuram brothers in the Serie A Player of the Month, and I want to say, was it like the Road to the Knockout? Both incredible, and the Evos followed. It's a great addition. 97 rated, more than likely ends up in an Evo at some point, and we are still waiting for them 5 playstyle pluses to come to most cards. Which then brings us on to the low rated strikers or low price strikers. Dalglish obviously coming in as a number one option here. I think he is one of the best strikers that we've had throughout every era of this game. From the very start, the 89 is always impeccable. Finesse shot, beautiful. 5-star, 4-star, beautiful. And even stats, to be fair, when you do look at the card in himself, as a lower rate striker, he was coming in probably around about the million coin mark. He was still up there at that point. Was absolutely brilliant for his time. You throw a Hunter on him, you throw whatever on him, fantastic. We then got into the Winter Wildcards, which obviously gave us a beautiful lower rated that could be evoed later, or the 93 that was fantastic. We also then had the ability to get the 88 into a 94 evo when the FUT Birthday 94 came out as well. So if you already had this version, you didn't actually have to get this version, and I ended up doing both when I had the 94 FUT Birthday. I don't know how I made that mistake, but regardless, I've got two 94s in the team, and I've still got them today. But we do have the 97 now. That is just a breath of fresh air. The only thing missing with him is a quick step, a rapid, and once we do eventually get into that 5 playstyle pluses, that could be the first one. What's stats? That's new. I want to see it. Okay, so it's just going to give us this. Okay, is that... It's more playstyle pluses more than anything. And obviously the rolls don't really matter on many of these cards. If they're in footies, they've pretty much got plus across the board. Obviously then you can kind of look at the playstyles. They do make a massive difference. And I know a lot of people will just look at the normal playstyles. And if you wanted to get really in depth with it, you are going to be looking more towards all of the rest as well. That he's got a rapid, he's got a quick step already and technical. He's got a bit of flair, first touch. And it does make a slight difference. It may not be the difference between a 100k card and a 5 million card, but it definitely is an interesting factor to go into. Now, two of the better shapeshifters that we saw in Elise and also Coman, both very similar strikers, quick, more on the lean sort of type, obviously dribbling, passing's up for both of them being wingers in their previous versions, and then the striking is up there as well. Both of them as well with the low driven, the finesse, and then we've got first touch versus the trickster and quick step versus the rapid. Now, Coman is most definitely the higher rated, but I do think Elise, for the quick step, for my opinion, is always a good one as well. And then Big Boy Benz is a brand new SBC, as cheap as you like, very, very affordable, easy to do at 120. He could technically be in the low strikers, but in general, Benzema as an end game sort of card for him, he's always been very good. He's never been kind of a striker that flourishes on the base version, unless we're going back to like FIFA 11, where he was literally in like a pump, like around that sort of time. It's not specifically that, I didn't just throw that out of the air, but in general, as he's got older, his pace has diminished, it's gone down, and that's what we get back once we hit into the footies, the quick step, the finesse, the incisive, and the low driven. fantastic. 5-star, 5-star, dribbling, passing, shooting. He's an all-round sort of striker that works very, very well in my opinion. Which then moves us on to the mid, the kind of near to a million, just over, just under. These are the cards that now I would personally put over the kind of lower rated strikers and are not necessarily a great value more. Like, I've kind of thrown Rio in here because he's a good striker, but I wouldn't necessarily choose him over like an Henry, a Bale, an Eto'o. He's kind of just there as the nostalgic value of a shapeshifter striker. And to be honest, he's not bad as a striker. He's one of the actual shapeshifters that I actually liked this year. I didn't think it was a great list, in my opinion. I think we had the 4 teams and they were underwhelming compared to previous footies. And I don't think that goes down to anything really other than I do think that last year it was just better. It just was better players in better positions and it just worked more. And I don't know if that is purely down to the fact that they have gone so in on rolls, playstyle pluses, acceleration times with now the mostly lengthy, explosive. It's a lot. And I know they are reverting that next year. So it will be very interesting to see if the game plays better in the end game, a little bit better than it has done this year. So then you've obviously got a few of the kind of older in golders. I have thrown Eusebio in here as I do think he needs a little bit of love. I can imagine a footies will be coming at some point, but I do think we have got the 98 left wing. Whether that could be enough for him, I really wanted a striker variation of him, but I can understand if they don't give him a footies because he did get this version. But if we are looking at specifically striker based, he was an SBC previously, and I can imagine if you have done him, an evolution will come at some point that is going to be fantastic for him. Now, obviously, there is only so many at the moment that is available, and I would suggest that we do need to get a finesse shot on him more so than anything, and that's going to come in the next few weeks. So he's just kind of popped there. If you've not bothered with an Evo at this point, then maybe that could be done in the future. Which then we have the likes of Bale and obviously Henry. Bale has got a beauty evolution that's going to be in there, which is just fantastic in himself. Again, whether you are waiting for this one specifically, I know he's obviously got the dead ball already, but quick step, low driven finesse, it's exactly what I need. The dead ball can stay, we still get a 5th place star plus, and just look at the card. He is exceptional in every single way. Bale was always going to be a great one. It's the same as what we're going to see with Ibra next year. We knew Bale was coming. You know Bale is going to be a great icon. His body ability in FIFA is always going to be good. He's lean, tall, he's got great strength back in the day, pace is absolutely infectious, and his shooting was decent as well. He was always going to be a top icon. Now, I expect him to actually rise probably to the top just because of body type in general. Like when we see Messi and Ronaldo actually retire, they are going to go straight to that top list. R9 will be a second for Messi, and Ronaldo will be the best 2 icons in this game by a long shot. The FIFA already, they even now, even when they're in their kind of their later years in Inter Miami and obviously in the Saudi, they're already still some of the best players in the game. They are going to be incredible as icons and going to be very, very expensive. Henry has finally found his form as well. If you've had Henry for however long he's been icon kind of related, up till last year, he was atrocious. And I don't even know why, because he is exactly like Bale, but on absolute steroids. Like, he is crazy levels of good. And it's only been since they've really fixed his balance more so than anything. It's one stat that made that much of a difference. And I do think Henry this year, again, has been quality. The 91 with Rapid was brilliant. We then got this absolutely stunning SBC. It was a perfect SBC to complete. Obviously, we did have the Team of the Year one as well, which, again, was already great. But then we've got the Immortals. Now, I'm hoping we do see a footies at some point. So that could be on the cards, whether it is going to be a striker, left wing, or they change it altogether. He's going to be one that will be well worth looking in. And same with Dembele, I've kind of thrown him in as an honourable mention as a striker, because naturally he is more of a right wing, but he has played in that central role for PSG and done very, very well, to say the least. Now, he's always been fantastic, even from the basic card, the rapid, the 5-5 from early on, and the great pace. He's always been a dangerous winger, and I do think as a striker, mixed in with an Henry-esque sort of striker, a Leao, somebody a bit taller, a bit more physical, he works very well in himself as well. But I would err on the side of caution to potentially put him more into a right wing, more so than anything. Whereas Son has been the opposite. He's always been a left wing in the cards, but can always play in that striking role. I really like him in the striker. I think he's absolute direct. He's got the play style plus as you need, and he does have the ability to now go into, I believe, is it the beast mode active? Beast mode is activated into a 98. The aerial is an added bonus, but in terms of a card, that is stunning. For how much you pay, if you can get him from one of the player picks, whatever you can, that is a great striker card. Whether he does get a footies, I do hope so, but we've only got 2 teams left. And I feel like there's so many players still available to get it. Whether he does is going to be a different question. So always interesting across the list. And then we obviously have Eto'o. Now, he's always been great. He's always been a top tier icon, but not Cruyff level icon. He's always been just under, and he's been exceptional. He hasn't got the finesse, which is a big kind of no-no to him. I think he would have actually been more value if he did have the finesse as well. Now, you can't change that because he's got 5 play style plus already, so that is what it is. But he's still a great striker to say the least. He can play in that left wing if needed. The incisive, the tiki-taka, the quick step, power shot, and low driven. He still has that option to be able to score. So it's not as if the finesse shot has completely broken him, but it is something you've got to always manage if you do heavily rely on that finesse shot. And then we have the top of the top. Now, these are the best strikers in the game by a landslide, other than maybe Mia Hamm thrown in there because of the cost, but she is still absolutely impeccable to say the least. She is one that is well worth having a look at the minimum. She doesn't have the low driven, but that could come later. Quick step and finesse at the absolute minimum, which is perfect. I don't even think you need these, to be honest, but if we go in to her, I think, was it the 94, the 96 that they're going with here? If we go into this version, can we get the finesse? There is one version, it might be the 89 that we've gone through, that would get the finesse there. So just straight into that version. Is that going straight into the beast mode? Oh no, that is doing the crossroads. So I suppose regardless, still always going to be great. But realistically, the main option is going to be these 5. Mbappe. It's enough said, really. To be honest, I think you could even still get away with this striker. And honestly, I think this version is not the best version you can go with. I've got a 91 now that has got the quick step, has got the finesse, and has got the low driven. So already I've got the 3 play style pluses I personally want in my striker, and then you throw anything extra. First touch, aerial, Travella, if you go press proven, I could still get him. I believe I'm getting him to a 98 next. I would actually probably prefer that because this version doesn't have that finesse. He has chip shot, quick step, technical, incisive, and low driven. At least he's got 2 of the 3, but realistically, with the fact that there's so many Evos now, I'd rather go and Evo one of these instead. So that is always going to be a interesting debate of what do you prefer. I will get that Mbappe to a 99 regardless. So it doesn't necessarily make too much difference. But then we do look at kind of like your Pele and your Cruyff, both of them absolutely exceptional in their own right. And R9 is R9. He's 15 mil extinct. I mean, it is what it is for him. He's low driven, press proven, rapid, and finesse, and then thrown in a little bit of technical as well. It's R9. I mean, if you can get him, you'll absolutely get him. Even if you throw in the 90 that is still coming in at 8.7 mil, is crazy. Still got a base version over 3 million coins. I don't think, in fact, I want to do the math on this. What is the most expensive base icon other than R9? Because I think other than maybe Pele potentially, is this, oh, that's going to be all of them. Other than the potential base Pele, I don't think there's many, if any, over a mil now. So if we go into just the normal icons, it's not going to show me, is it? We got the, oh no, if we get rid of that, there we go. So in terms of the top of the top, we've got Arno, we've got Hullet at 1.4, more than likely because of Evos. Under that, you're looking at under a mil, 700, 500. Like, that is crazy that he's still over 3.3. It just tells you truly how expensive and how good that card is. But to this day, and like I said in the previous kind of tiers, Ronaldo is still the best striker in the game, in my opinion. In terms of what they've given him from this footies, is exceptional. You've got himself the finesse, the low driven, an aerial for being tall. If he could score headers, that would be brilliant. The rapid, a chip shot if you really need to. It's not the worst to have with all of them 5. And then the 5-5, the stats on top. I mean, he's just deadly. He's an absolute animal. 99 pace, 99 shooting, 98 passing, 99 dribbling, and 94 physical. He has been my favourite striker from his 93 and evoing him up. His team of the season was exceptional. His Nation Leagues was exceptional as well. But this version for me has been one of my favourites. I want to get him in an SBC because he's very difficult to get elsewise, but in terms of a striker, he's my number one. And yes, R9 is up there with the best of them. It's like that. It's definitely preference more so than anything. Mbappe, Ronaldo, R9 are all interchangeable as number one. I think for me, with the playstyle pluses that's added, CR7 takes home the glory. And that is going to be every striker in every budget that you want to be looking at as you do climb this ladder. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.